Oh my god, that looks nasty. That looks nasty. Oh, I cannot look at that. Oh. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Amir, and today we're gonna be looking at some of the worst hair transplant fails. I just saw first few pictures and it already looks extremely scary, and I just want to share some of these with you so you can go ahead and just be a little bit more precise and careful when doing your research in terms of what clinic to pick, especially if you're planning to go abroad to do your hair transplant. And I'm just looking at some of these pictures from the corner of my eye and they look absolutely horrific. So let's go ahead and go over these together and let's see what went wrong in them and see how you can maybe avoid them. All right, so this right here is aggressive over harvesting. It has 4,500 grafts extracted from the donor area. It looks like the doctor went up way too high. I don't even think you're supposed to go that high back up, and the amount of just grafts that are just taken out, it's scary. From the description of this photo, this person got 4,500 grafts extracted in a single session. Maybe to begin with, I did 5,000 grafts in a single session for my hair transplant, and my donor area turned out to be fine. It's not over harvested or anything, but maybe looking at this person's specific density and thickness and the overall quality of their donor area, this does not look good. It looks absolutely horrifying. The doctor should most definitely do the proper examination of your donor area to see if your donor area is capable of taking those many grafts out before they go ahead and proceed with this, because this looks really bad. For me, at least personally, the doctor said that I have a really nice, thick, and above average donor area, which contain a lot of double and triple grafts of hair. So that's why they're able to get away with doing this. But as a person, some people naturally just have a pretty thin donor area. So for someone like that, this is extremely aggressive, and this is something that you shouldn't do. Now, as a result, let's take a look at this different one. This is a FUE procedure done to a patient, and oh my god, dude, this looks really bad. This is some permanent damage done to the patient, and this is a lot of over harvesting. This is basically, they try to take a lot of hair just from one side and try to leave everything, left out. And again, another example of a really bad job, and it doesn't look good at all. Obviously, you can clearly tell that this person got some grafts extracted, and from the looks of it, from the top, from their crown area, whatever, I'm not sure if they've gotten their full result yet or anything. As their final result, I can see from the top, it doesn't even look like they grew out anything significant or anything like that. So this whole hair transplant situation would just be better off had they just went to a better clinic and they examined things properly and gave them an honest answer on what they can expect. But I can see this guy's hair is already pretty thin, so if they, again, had they gone to a better clinic, they would have probably had a more realistic expectation rather than someone just trying to scam them and just trying to put as many grafts as possible and just hope for the best kind of thing. And this is the result that you end up getting. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is improper hairline and hair placement. Yeah, this is a big one, very important. This right here is a pretty common thing that ends up happening to people who want to end up cheaping out on their hair transplants. Some people want to drop their hairline super low, and for the sake of that, they'll probably go even like this, and where they naturally never had hair. Sometimes you can get away with it depending on how much leverage you have and how much skin you have, basically. But in this case, that's a clear sign that it's not gonna work, it's gonna fail. This person already has a decent enough hairline to go with their natural hair, so I don't know why they ended up going even lower than that. I'm not sure. For me, when I got my hair transplant, and I'll throw a picture up over here, I did get an option to either go and have my hairline like this, or I can just stick with it, up here. I decided to just, again, be conservative and save some of the grafts and just go with it right here, and it looks just fine. Like, I don't think it was worth the grafts to even get it done like that. And when you try to go something aggressively as low as this, you end up getting that very straight line look, that straight edge look. You can tell that that person got some sort of procedure done because they may have double or triple grafts just growing in from the top of their head. as you know, the proper way to do it and the proper direction and placement of the grafts should be that they should be placing the single grafts in the front in a zigzag manner or in a randomized manner to kind of mimic the way that your natural hairline grows. If they don't do that and they do it improperly and they end up placing the wrong grafts and the wrong places, then something like this happens, or even worse, you end up getting that super specific look that's extremely focused, and again, it doesn't look natural, it doesn't look good, and you're better off again having it done at a place that knows what they're doing rather than going for the cheap and conservative option. Ooh, man, I feel bad for this guy. This is just straight up poor growth right here. These grafts were destroyed because of improper excision or handling or poor placement technique. These right here, oh my god, dude, like again, I think if they did want to fix it, they do have a decent shot, because I do see that they have they have a decent amount of donor area still after going through that procedure. But my god, dude, this is really, really bad. And one of the most important things after any graft is extracted from the back of your head is the survival rate, and the time that your graft spent outside of your donor area or outside of your head kind of decreases the survival rate unless it's kept at a certain temperature for a certain amount of, for at least for a limited amount of time. And that's the only way to prevent from your grafts from dying. Again, this is most likely due to improper handling of those grafts once they were extracted. The best way to usually do it is to limit the time that the graft spends outside of your own head. And maybe these people, whoever done it, they were not as experienced and they ended up just poorly botching the job. And as a result, maybe after 1 year later, this is what he gets. I would be pretty pissed if that was my result after a whole year of waiting, after paying, after travel, all of that stuff. Ugh, man, I feel bad for this guy. Oh my god. Dude, this is really bad. This is known as necrosis. This happens when you're placing the graft and you end up placing it too deep. Again, from what I know, when you're making those punch holes, you end up going too deep, and as a result, it leaves these big and nasty scars and ends up getting infected or rotted. Again, that's very ridiculous. It's, oh my god, I can't believe these people are still in practice after going through this. Right here it says in severe cases, patients are left with wounds that end up getting infected or rotted, which again, I think on some of the pictures I see it's really, really bad. The placement technique is extremely important. You want to know that the person who's doing your transplant is extremely experienced, they're calm, they're confident, and they have, you know, at least hundreds if not thousands of surgeries under their belt. So they know exactly how to properly place those grafts and how to make those incisions properly without cutting too deep. Because if this again happens to you, it's hard to recover from a damage like this. And even worse, if you're doing it in a foreign country, again, you can't really do much. You can't really take any legal actions against them because most other countries have their own laws and regulations to abide by. So you're kind of just stranded on your own and you have to deal with this by yourself. I'm not saying all places foreign are bad. Again, I got my stuff done in Turkey at Vera Clinic. They were amazing, top of the line, top quality, good results. I'm very happy with how everything came out. I'll leave their contact info in the description below if you want to check them out. But again, if you do end up going for a place that's saying, hey, I'm gonna do your hair transplant done for $1,000, $500, $1,500, or even $2,000, that's a little bit on the suspicious side, because, you know, sure, there's a chance it might go successful, but there's also a chance it might go south, like some of these pictures I'm showing you, and they're hard to look at, honestly. Let's look at the next one. Visible donor area scarring. This is over-harvesting and excessive trauma from, again, same thing of over-harvesting. The person over here clearly has way too many grafts taken out from the side, from the back, and even with that shaved look, you can clearly see that the person's, you know, is, again, has aggressive hair loss and aggressive scarring from over-harvesting. Yeah, this guy seems to be at least a Norwood 7 because his hairline went all the way back. And I think what this guy probably tried to do is try to get a full head of hair. and as a result, the people, I'm assuming he probably went to a foreign country, I'm assuming they tried to do a mega session in maybe one session, tried to extract most, if not all, of his hair follicles to put on top of his head. And as a result, doing something this aggressive, one, has a very negative impact on the graft survival rate, and two, leaves an excessive amount of uncurable trauma and scarring and an over harvesting of your donor area, which you don't want to deal with. And for some people, sure, they're over harvested, but they end up getting a trim on the side and you can just kind of hide it. But this person right here, even after getting that trim, you can clearly see the over harvesting, which again, I feel really bad for, and it's just an unfortunate situation of just picking the wrong place and having inexperienced trichologists and doctors extracting your hair follicles. Okay, so this right here is a woman. She has over harvesting. Sure, I think it's bad, but this is not as bad as the men. The reason why is because women, they also have the other hair, so they can kind of, you know, cover it up with the rest of the hair. So this one's not terrible. Yeah, it's over harvested, but I mean, you know, she can probably grow most of it back and, you know, hide it. It's not really a big deal. Oh my God, that looks nasty. That looks nasty. Oh, I cannot look at that. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. This is my first time seeing this, okay? Okay, so this is some outdated technology that they're using, and oh my God, dude, this is a 4mm punch. And what are these guys doing? Like how is this even legal? Like, me just looking at this, I just know that this is bad, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a trichologist, I don't have much experience with this stuff. From this, I don't know, there's not much context over here. I just know this looks really nasty. From what I think this is probably going to end up leading to is a very, very slow healing time, probably a lot of over harvesting, maybe even lower graft survival rate, definitely a lot of visible scarring. And I think over here where the person's hair on the side, I don't think you're supposed to take hair from over here. I'm not an expert in this stuff, but I think you're only supposed to take hair from maybe up to this point and then back. But this again looks really nasty and looks, oh man. If you're using this technique in 2021 from 1960, how are you still in business, man? How are you still in business? All right, so that's the end of it. Oh my God. This was, this is my first time looking at these pictures, and I can't believe that some of these techniques still exist and some of these doctors are still in business after, you know, botching up people's hair like that. And I feel extremely, extremely bad for the people because one, they're not only messed up and have to deal with the consequences of the mess ups of these doctors, but two, most of these are probably done at a very cheap place, not much experience, and these people are just trying to save some money most likely. And lastly, now they're just out hair follicles and donor grafts that they could have used had they went to a reputable clinic and actually just got the job done right the first time. And now they're out the potential grafts they could have used to actually place them properly and actually get the optimal growth. Instead, they just wasted it on a stupid job. I just hope that by you guys watching this video, I'm able to show you what can go wrong, what can go south, and why it's important for you to pick a quality, reputable clinic and make sure you do your research before you end up, you know, just going with anything just to save your money. Because at the end of the day, this right here is not worth any price. I'd rather even not get a hair transplant at all and stay bald than to have a result like this. I'm not gonna lie, this was actually pretty fun to do, reacting to these various hair loss fails. If you guys want me to do more of these, I can definitely find some and do these reaction videos of these hair transplants that have failed. But I mean, again, let me know what you guys thought about this. If you're considering a hair transplant, please do your research. I'll leave the research and the information that I have of a reputable clinic that I went to, again, in the description below, so you can go ahead and check it out. And I think there's plenty of reputable clinics all over the world, including Turkey, including UK, US, wherever you want to go. So just make sure you, again, do your due diligence, do your research before you end up picking one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. This was definitely a fun one. If you have any questions or anything regarding hair transplants or anything like that, make sure to let me know in the comment section below. If you have any specific questions regarding your own hair or anything personal, you can email me at my personal email below as well. And other than that, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.